In this video, we're going to focus on the CSS colors, and before we even do that, let's remove everything what we have here right now. We don't need all of this, it's all access data. So what we're going to do is we're going to focus, because basically there are multiple ways of doing colors, and which one is necessary, well, it will depend. Basically, what we can do first, let's create some divs here. We have a div here, alright, and in this div, we're going to put in another div and another div, and then say ABC, and it's CDE, and then EFG, for example. I'm just making up something here, and then this will be class 1 is, or this is class box 1, and then we just give them multiple boxes. This will be number 3 and number 2. Alright, so once we have that, let's put in here a proper design for that in CSS. So we say box 1, we say class box 1, and this will be, we can say here, oh, what we can do is first is div, we're going to specify specifically the div, we will say height 50 pixels, and then width 50 pixels. So we're going to make a square box, and then we say here box 1 is a background. And then we say here, let's make this red. So we're using color here. We can use a color code, or you can use a hex code. Now we're going to show you as well what's a hexadecimal color coding. Basically, it's 6 digits, and you've seen some already used in some other videos. But let me show you here. So you say here, and this will be green, and this will be, we can say cyan. That's all right. Once we do this, refresh, you can see we have now 3 items here with the different colors, and this color code is built in CSS. The CSS have many different colors preset. So for example, if you would have your gold, we can put in gold. There you are, we get gold. We can have silver, silver, and then we have here maybe steel blue. There you are. So we get all these different colors here, but maybe you don't want only the words here. Well, these words can help you because there are so many. How can you figure out if it's a word? If you're using a programming tool such as this one here, this is Sublime, then you can just put in here the text. So for example, if you want to have here something like pink, does it exist? Yes, it exists the moment it becomes, from white it turns blue. So if I say here light pink, let's see if that exists, light pink. There you are. So it does exist. So if I save it and refresh, you can see that's light pink. If I say light red, does it exist? No, this does not exist. So if I save this now, you will see it just doesn't pick up any color at all. Alright. So once we have this and refresh this, you can see here these are the color codes. But maybe you want not only the color codes, but you want the hexa color codes. So these are, because these right now the colors are just color, color codes in text format, in Word, basically, in Word format. And the reason why I do that is that basically a variable for colors. So this can be very useful if you don't know, or you want to have, a certain color you use is consistent, you use that. So what you have as well is the following. For example, you want to have the hexacode for this one. Yeah, so what we want to do is the 6 digits, where you see like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, where you always use like a hashtag first. So this would indicate the hexadecimal color code, and probably the best way to call this a hex code, because that's very common. It's 6 digits or 6 characters, and then the hashtag in front of it. So it can be ranging anything from 0 up to 9, and from A up till F. So in total there are 16 characters options in one item here. So this can be 0 up to 9, or else A, B, C, D, E, or F. Caps locks or small caps, doesn't matter. I prefer caps locks because it's a quite common process and it's easy to spot. But you can have whatever you want, doesn't matter. But just use one standard for yourself. Alright, so how can we then extract them? So let's go look at this, and here's the question now. How do we extract these? So if you are aware, I have used sometimes some codes which I tend to like a lot. So I say background, and then say hashtag 333. And you might say, well, how come if we have 6 here, why this is then only 3? And if we save this, it will become a quite darkish gray, almost close to black. So if we refresh this, oh, you can see, of course, it gives an error. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to comment this out, save this, refresh. Background, what happened here? Did I save it properly? Let's refresh again. Alright, so that doesn't allow. So I'm just going to remove this for now. And let me double check what's going on. Did I mistype something? Background. That's weird. Alright, so I'll just double check here what's going on here, why the color is not being extracted. You can look here, color, hashtag, background. Well, apparently, for some reason, it just doesn't want to respond. So let's save it one more time. Let's check here. Are we looking here? Why are we not responding? Background color class. Are we having the right item class? Oh, of course, sorry. We have all these excess codes here. This is the reason why we need to use comments here, which is very important. That makes sense? Alright. So now if we save this, you will see here, this works, it becomes darkish. And then if we will do only 3 times, you will see it's exactly the same. There's no difference. Just for comparison's sake, we save this here and refresh, you can see here. So what happens here exactly? Well, basically it's the following. The color, understand, if you use only single digit, it assumes that this is just double digits. Why? How is this working? Is because this is a RGB. RGB, or a hex RGB, that's basically what it is basically red, green, blue. So this would mean the color here, the first one, or the first 2 here, is red. So if we only use 1 digit, it will see it automatically as 33. So it sees it as red. And then here green is this one here, and this is blue. So we can play around with this color in hex codes as well. So for example, if you want to do completely green, very bright, strong green, we do here F, large F. Alright, so this would mean maximum green, no red, no blue. If we save this and refresh, you can see here now we get maximum green. So what is this exactly? So if we do all 0, it becomes black because there's no color at all. If we do all triple F or Fs, you will see here now it becomes white, completely white. So this is the colors here. So how would we be able to, let's say if we have this, what was it, light pink, am I correct? Yes. How can we extract then that color? Maybe you want to have the hex code here as well. So if we save this, we have this. So how can we do it? Well, if you're on Google Chrome, you have the developer tab, and I've used it quite often. And the developer tab is basically if you're using a Mac or if you use on Windows, or if you use a Mac, Option Command I, and if you use Windows, you can use the F12 command. And then you click here on the inspector. This will give you the option to inspect elements. Then you select on this, and you can see here already we get the color here. You can see here the color is light pink. Alright, so if we click here on inspect element, you will see here right now down. I'm not able to go down because it will hover around. It will hover to the next item. But you can see here background is FB6C1. Alright. So that's the background color, and you can see here even the font color or the font size, and the type is Helvetica Sans Serif. This is correct if you look here, Helvetica Sans Serif. So let's look one more time here at that color and just extract the color in hex code format. So FB6C1. Alright, so I say here FB6C1. Alright, so once we have that, hashtag, save, refresh, and now you can see our color is exactly the same. It works beautifully same, and it recognizes now the different format here. In box 1 it says the background color is now this. If we change this now to light pink, save this, refresh, and now you can see it's been adjusted to a text. So you might say, what is better? Should we use text or should we use the color code? Basically, it doesn't matter. Many people tend to use like these things, but also they're using both options. If you are quick in designing because you just want to show something quickly, usually the text codes or the text color variables are being used just for quick understanding. It's easy to remember compared to if you want to find the light pink in Hexcode. It's quite hard. As you can see, it's F B6 C1. So you want to come up on it quite quick, unless you have the basic colors like black, white, red, green, and blue. These are very easy to remember, but others are starting to get harder and harder. So you can use these. However, eventually you will go to a hex code or you go to a different type of code. They have different options more because those are more specific. You can use, for example, where you get the logo of your color and then you put them in there. So this is one of the options with colors, and there's still a bit more things that we still need to cover with color, and I will do that in the next video. Thank you for watching this video. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you subscribe to my channel, and if you have any questions regarding this, make sure you put them in the comment section. I'll get back to you. And if you enjoyed this video, check out the next video here. You will probably enjoy this as well.